When I first got into the news business, all I saw around me were men. I was simply driven and convinced that I could do what the men did. I didn't think I was breaking ground or paving the way. I was just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to survive. I was trying to keep my head above water. Welcome to NBCU Academy. I'm Connie Chung. I had majored in biology and then accounting, and one summer between my junior year and senior year, I worked for a congressman on Capitol Hill as an intern. And he was a former newspaper man, and he got me interested in writing. I was so struck and intoxicated with news and the whole idea of reporting information and digging for it that I decided to go into journalism. Television journalist became my thing. Walter Cronkite was my role model. My parents and I, along with the rest of my family, would sit down to watch Walter Cronkite on the CBS Evening News every night. And we just believed him, and I think the country believed him. He told us the truth. All I wanted to do was to follow in Walter Cronkite's footsteps. There were no women doing hard news anchoring. The entire newsroom was filled with men. My competitors as reporters were men. And the people I was covering in Washington, D.C. were all men. At the White House, at the Pentagon, at the State Department. So I decided that I would be a guy too. I may not look like a guy, but I wanted to be part of the boys' club. So I talked like them, I walked like them, I spoke like them. I had a terrible potty mouth, which I'm not proud of. I made sure that they would take me seriously and that I was just one of them. It was a peculiar type of armor that I put on me, but I was still myself. It's not that I had changed myself, it's just that I took on a persona that I thought was ballsy, but a necessity to survive in an all-male environment. I had a hard time saying no to authority, including my parents. So all that filial piety that I abided by in terms of being Chinese, being Asian, I carried through to male management. When male management would tell me to do something, it was very hard for me to say no. The women had a hard time saying, no, I'm not going to do it, fearing we might be uncooperative or that we might be called the B word. It was a fine line to walk on. I made it a point of doing those grunt stories that I didn't like, but I also made it a point of trying to prove myself in covering hard news stories too. It seemed like every day I had to prove myself. My husband actually was my biggest cheerleader throughout my career. He would say, don't take them seriously. Don't take your critics seriously. Don't take the people who are denigrating you seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. Take your work seriously. Don't worry about what someone is saying to you who's giving you a hard time. Don't worry about your critics. Don't worry about people who don't have faith in you. Just do a good job. Be brave and plow forward.
This is NBC Nightly News, reported by Connie Chung.
Good evening. Walter Mondale.
The best way to distinguish yourself from the others is to find stories that nobody else would cover, that nobody else knows about. That's just plain good reporting. I don't think that anybody, whether you're a man, a woman, a minority, should ever consider the goal that they are aiming for to be beyond their reach. I never did. I went after it. Whatever it was, the next rung on the ladder, I went for it. And I tried to get there. And if I didn't get there, I'd try again.
Thank you for joining us, and good night from all of us at NBC News.